All right, Cody Rhodes has officially finished the story. He defeats Roman Reigns, and we're going to let everybody jump in here to this live WrestleMania 40 Night 2 reaction show. Cody finishes the story just like a lot of us expected. Now, there was one missing piece that we'll talk about when more people get in here, I'm sure, who was not part of Cody finishing the story that we all kind of predicted was not there. We did not hear the glass shatter, which if you watch the reaction show we did this morning, Charles, you were in there earlier. We were all predicting Stone Cold Steve Austin. We were talking about, I said 100% sure that glass is shattering the way they had built it up. But instead, it was The Undertaker, which was also something that we had talked about this morning as a possibility. And there it was. The big gong hits, and The Undertaker is the one there. And yeah, that was a surprise because, again, I had not heard anything about The Undertaker. I know some people had brought it up in the reaction show we did this morning for night one. But, hey, you'll take it. It seemed like Austin may have been like the right fit for that spot, given the history. But yeah, I mean, any way you look at it, right? It was all about the final sequence there. We knew it was going to be interference aplenty. There were going to be a lot of people involved. And sure enough, it leads to Cody Rhodes finishing the story. WrestleMania 40 Night 2. We are now in the Renaissance era as they've been pushing it. And Cody is your champion. So, again, guys, come on in, leave your comments. Enjoy the interaction as always. Only the second time we've done a live stream, and both happen to be in the past 24 hours. So I'm actually a newer channel here. We've been doing a lot of videos, and I was looking forward to this one because I knew this would be a lot of fun. I'm with you, Juan. I thought it would be Austin. That glass shattering, which we talked about earlier. It was something we all expected, but that's okay. A nice little swerve, and there you go. So. Hey, I appreciate that too, Juan, new subscriber. We appreciate that here at the channel. And goodbye Stardust. No more Stardust. This is the Cody Rhodes era officially. So I don't think Stardust would have ever gotten that right there, to be honest with you. So I don't think that would have ever happened. So yeah, hey, appreciate you hopping in. This should be a fun one tonight for sure. We got a lot to talk about. And we'll get into it a little more as people start to hop in here. But if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You can see all the videos we did leading up to WrestleMania 40. It's really something. So, I mean, let's just go ahead and jump into the Austin thing. So, here's what's kind of interesting here. And by the way, I'm going to try to kind of hold some of your comments here. If you want to leave a super chat, I will not miss those, but we'll probably have a lot of comments coming in. I want to make sure I get to as many as I can. Because, again, this is a reaction show. I just want to have fun and talk with you guys. So, yeah, the Austin thing on the truck. We mentioned that in the video, and I'm like, it's too perfect. Like, they had Cena. And when Cena came out, let's be honest, we were all, when Cena came out, we're thinking, all right, this is it. Like, this is the moment. They're doing exactly what we said they were going to do. And then they kind of swerved us a little bit with Taker instead of Austin. But, so here's the thing I've been thinking about this whole time. And I haven't mentioned it, but this was just something that popped into my head as we probably started talking about this whenever that was, 2 weeks ago. I'm thinking the only reason Austin would not be there, of course, scheduling is always a thing, but it's also a matter of maybe Austin just did not want to overshadow anything for Cody. And I could definitely see Steve Austin having that response. If we know they wanted him there, they wouldn't have probably put that in place, but I could totally see Austin saying, you know what, I'm not going to show up because I just want this to be Cody's moment. I don't want, to overshadow anything. Like Cena took a back seat to everything. It wasn't like, we thought maybe you have Cody, Austin, and Cena all in there before Cody gets his final moment in the ring by himself. But I think that's it, probably, would be my guess. Unless it's just scheduling, I could definitely see Austin just being very old school about this and saying, hey, this is Cody's moment. Let's let him have it, right? So, I could definitely see that. But, all right, if you are new too, you're going to know that my internet sometimes goes in and out. So, if the stream gets terrible, you guys just tell me in the comments, and we'll try to find a way to fix the internet. But, hey, there you go, Charles, the Shield music. Now, that's not one that we were predicting. We knew Rollins could get involved, but the Shield music hitting, that was a nice touch. And, of course, Rollins comes out in the Shield gear. They went all in on this finish like we thought they would. We just didn't know exactly how they were going to do it. We knew that this thing was going to get nuts. Missing piece in Austin, But you did have the two surprises, at least for me. I wasn't trying to read every spoiler on the internet or anything, so if people thought Taker would be there, I did not. I wanted to not have any spoilers for this one. I wanted to try to figure it out on my own. So, yeah. So, well, I mean, look, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Triple H is the king of misdirection sometimes. And so, hey, maybe the Austin thing was simply just a misdirection to get you thinking about it and whatever. But I don't know. I just don't know why they would have done it if you wouldn't have been there. But, yep, so there you go. Rollins is probably injury-wise. Man, that guy's it's been a grind. What a title run Rollins had. Of course, Damian Priest, now your new world heavyweight champion. So yeah, but that was interesting. So yeah, this was a sweet moment here from DT. Roman hitting Seth in the back with the chair. You know, that was quite interesting. What a decision that was, and of course, it plays into the history with Reigns and Rollins. And I thought that was a very nice touch. That was another one of those things that really was hard to predict coming into this, but that was nice that I thought they added in. It made a lot of sense. So, yeah. And I know people are talking about Dustin. I said earlier, we were not going to see Dustin based on the contractual stuff with AEW. I just didn't think there was any chance of seeing Dustin on screen, period. So, by the way, yeah, if you are following the press conference, of course, I'm doing this. I'm not following the press conference. If there's anything interesting that comes out of that, let me know in the comments. Would appreciate that, guys, for sure. So, all right, I'm going to try to catch up on some of your comments, and then we'll kind of go maybe quickly match by match. And again, this is going to be your show. I want to just, we'll interact here, have some fun. But, hey, appreciate this here. Started watching when, hey, yeah, I mean, I probably started a couple months ago, and certainly some of the videos took off. I did not expect. We had some fun trying to figure out this whole storyline and everything that's going to happen. Yeah, that was quite a finish to that. We knew they wanted to make it the biggest WrestleMania main event ever. And, I mean, in terms of the cameos you got, there's probably none bigger than that one. So, yeah, that was quite interesting. But, again, I appreciate the kind words. And, hey, there's more to come. We still don't know what's happening with the Bloodline. So we got a lot of stuff to break down and figure that out moving forward. So, yeah, just quickly, I know some people brought about the Reigns thing. He had mentioned about the leukemia. He had mentioned, like, it's just something that's ongoing. I don't think he necessarily said it was anything that, like, it wasn't a situation where something new is developed. He just was kind of mentioning in the fact that it is just an ongoing thing where he takes something, and that's just kind of, I think, how he described it. So, yeah, I think there was the thought out there that maybe he had said something about, you know, it going to another level or something. I don't think that ever happened. I think it was just a matter of, you know, him mentioning that he's just something he deals with all the time because he has to take something and all that. So, yeah, that's the thing on Roman. So, anyways, all right, before we start here, give me your match of the night. Was it the main event? Was it something else? I thought Bayley and Io was very good. I thought, you know, putting that in the semi-main event spot, not surprised. Triple H has always, you know, loved Bayley, and I think has always appreciated what she's done for WWE. Obviously, the injury situation, her getting her shining moment here. Yeah, Stephanie was also there too. That was a good point, Charles. Yeah. So I thought this night probably from top to bottom, I thought was pretty good. I mean, the first match, like, it feels like forever ago since Rollins and McIntyre, but yeah, the first match was really good. And so yeah, it was something. So can we let's take a poll in the chat. Can we all agree the title belts look like poop? What do we think about the title belts? I'm old school when it comes to title belts. I wasn't a fan of like the spinner era and all that. I know it was Cena's thing, but yeah, just wasn't my thing. But again, guys, appreciate you hopping in here. I know there's some people probably leaving the arena. We had some people saying earlier they would be in attendance at the show, so we should get a nice crowd coming in here. And I appreciate all of you joining here on the channel. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will talk a little bit about what's going on here coming out of, yeah, Bruce Pritchard sighting. How about that? Did not expect Bruce Pritchard to make an on-screen appearance. Triple H comes out with Cody at the end. A very nice, that's just something that you just are not used to seeing, that kind of celebration when a WWE champion is crowned like Cody got, but that's how you know this was a new era. Like, this is definitely something that, you know, Triple H wants it to be this way. He wants that to feel like a special, special moment, which it was. And so, yeah, maybe Cody will bring back the Winged Eagle. Cody would be the greatest champion ever if he does that, because I would love to see that. Old school belt brought back, the best one ever, in my opinion. But, yeah, hey, you weren't the only one thinking that we had a Dean Ambrose sighting potentially whenever that Shield music hit, because it took me a second, and I think that was the point. Like I'm like, wait a second, what is going on with the Shield music? Reigns is out there. I mean, Moxley's in AEW. Surely not. There's no way. And I'm thinking, okay, now they're gonna do the Seth thing. And of course, Seth shows up in the Shield gear, which was a nice touch. But yeah, so I think this is probably, yeah. I mean, Becky and Rhea was good yesterday. Again, it feels like forever ago now. It's 4 hours ago, but I thought Drew and Seth was really good to open the show, and so I thought that was a really good one. Sammy and Gunther was great. Again, I thought Bayley and Io was, for one that we said the bill was a little bit lacking. I thought that it really did well. I thought it was a really good match. I thought the triple threat match for the U.S. title was good. So I thought this night, top to bottom, was pretty good. Even the street fight, like you had the old school ECW like shenanigans. You had Bubba doing the Devon thing, even though Devon wasn't there. So yeah, but it was something. So all right, let's run through some of these things here. What did you think? Let's talk. We'll get to Cody, of course. Hey, I wish the Austin one came true too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that was the one that we were gonna get, and again, they put him on the truck for a reason. Like, it'd been different if you saw Cena and The Undertaker on the truck, but it was Cena and Austin. And look, we don't know what happened, right? Triple H may address this at some point, maybe not, but I just think like that spot, if you really think about it, like Austin is the one that makes the most sense to take out The Rock in Philadelphia 25 years after the WrestleMania match, longtime rivals, all that, but it's fine. Undertaker, again, was a surprise. I was not expecting The Undertaker. Some people were, I was not. So that was good. But again, the glass shattering, it's always different when the glass shatters. But still, you get the gong. That's all that matters, right? So, yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. And if we go back to the first match, and trust me, we've got plenty to talk about. We'll get to all the stuff here. Certainly, we'll spend a little more time on the bigger matches than every single match on the card. But I think this was one where, look at the main event scene now that you have Cody as champion. And especially when you look at Raw, right? You've got Cody, which, again, now you've got Cody as a champion, Priest as a champion, the draft's coming up, all this other stuff. Gunther's going to move into the world title stuff. Punk's going to be back. McIntyre, which I know people were wondering if he's going to be gone and all that. I don't think so, but I suppose anything's possible. They're building up way too much with McIntyre and Punk to get away from that. So, yeah, I mean, the cash-in was perfect. And if you remember, something we talked about was, I said, what they've done is they've added all these unpredictable elements in with the cash-in. And you have Rollins, you have McIntyre, you have Punk out there, Priest is in the wings waiting. And so it's just a matter of how do they do it. And I said one of the possibilities, I thought honestly was exactly how it happened. Punk ends up costing McIntyre the title after he wins it. Priest cashes in. So that was one of the scenarios we talked about. The other one was like, all right, maybe Balor costs Priest the cash in if they don't want to go all the way with Priest. But again, Triple H he's a Damian Priest guy. And so I'm not surprised at all that, look, he's really valued Damian Priest throughout the years. And so he gave him that thing for a reason. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised at all that they went through with it, because now it sets up a lot of stuff where you don't just have Damian Priest and all these different things that came out of that one match, but like now you've got the stuff with the Judgment Day, right? Like Finn gets a little bit jealous. You got a little stuff like there's a lot you can do, because I think Priest is ultimately going to wind up being somebody that gets cheered a lot. He got cheered tonight when he cashed in, but I think Priest is heading towards being the guy coming out of Judgment Day that's going to be the big baby face, I think. I think I can see that happen. So, yeah, but we'll see. So, yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. They're not putting the title. That's a great point, Edward. Like they're not going to put the title on McIntyre, and if there was any chance of leaving, that makes no sense to even give him the title, like you said, for 5 minutes. You would never do that. Just have Rollins win. Rollins is injured. Priest cashes in on him. That's what you would do. So McIntyre's back. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff. Yeah. I mean, like you guys are saying, I see T-Rob's here. Roll Tide. No. Sorry, your Final Four dreams did not work out well, I know, but hey, we'll discuss all that in another video, as you know, and on another platform. But yeah, I thought night 2 from top to bottom was probably better than night 1. You guys can weigh in on that. I think, again, the big matches delivered. The only one throughout the entire weekend I thought that did not deliver that I was expecting to was Jimmy and Jay. Like, that was the one that they didn't get a lot of time. It did not hit the level I thought it would. But yeah, it was pretty predictable, but I think that's something, too, we always talk about is like, it's fine if it's predictable as long as it's the right thing. And I think every decision they made was right for what they have to move forward. You said that this morning, too. like in the other reaction video. They gotta start setting stuff up for SummerSlam and all this. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot coming. And of course, we do have to talk about what is next with the Bloodline. I know we talked about that in videos here on the channel. You guys know. I think, and here we go. If you want me to tell you my next video, I'm already prepping in my head. You know what it's going to be. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa had an exchange towards the end of that main event that was very interesting. And I am definitely going to be talking about that tomorrow. I can tell you that. Because you heard Roman Reigns sort of get a little angry at Solo there, as Solo was yelling at him, telling him to finish this thing. Solo being way more aggressive. And why is he doing that? You guys know, because we did a video, and look how much further Solo has moved towards The Rock when they are together and all of this. And I think that's the Rock sort of tutelage now for Solo Sikoa. And I think you're about to see Solo either take out Roman Reigns, however they want to do it. That it's coming. And I think we saw another little tiny detail added to that tonight. So, so I'm excited for this one because, again, they couldn't answer all the questions tonight, but I think it's smart not to answer everything tonight. You got to give people something to sink their teeth into now moving forward with the Bloodline. So, hey, I appreciate the nice words. We have fun here, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But the Monday, as we always said too, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania has just not felt special for a while, and I think you're going to see that change tomorrow night. I think Triple H is going to make this thing huge, and I think they want to get back to making the Raw after WrestleMania a destination event, must see. It's just been so lackluster recently. Like, I can't even remember anything that's happened the past couple of years. Maybe you guys can recall better than I can, but it all just kind of runs together. But, like we said earlier, The Undertaker in place of Austin, I thought it would be Austin. I mean, look, we pointed out all the reasons that it made sense for Austin, but there had to be a reason there. I think that there's no question there was. I would be shocked if WWE did not reach out to Austin for that spot, and for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. But as I mentioned, maybe that's just Austin saying he does not want to overshadow Cody's moment. Maybe didn't want to be involved in something like that, where you have one of the most overbooked matches maybe ever of that magnitude, but I thought it still worked out well. So let's see what else we need to get to here. Again, guys, if you're hopping in, we got 200 plus here in the chat. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We cover this every single day. We do a lot of videos. And again, I tease some other stuff that I've got coming up here, looking at the Bloodline that I'll do something on tomorrow as well. So is this the end of the Bloodline? For all intents and purposes, like, I think you saw the end of the Bloodline tonight. Now, we didn't officially see how it ended, but that's coming. Like, I think we're about to find out exactly what's next for the Bloodline. My guess is you're going to have The Rock turn Solo Sikoa on Roman Reigns if he hasn't already, and I think that's where we're headed, especially after the exchange we got from Solo and Roman tonight in the main event. There was a clear frustration between those two when Solo was yelling at Roman to finish the story, basically, and so I think that's going to be. And it's going to be good because you're going to get Roman versus Solo. You're going to get Roman versus Jimmy, maybe. Although, I don't know. I think someone said earlier, the Usos kind of could be heading in an interesting direction now. But you're going to get Roman versus Solo. You're going to get Roman versus Rock. And so, yeah, I think. So, I think that's where we're headed with all this. So, but that's a good call. I mean, I think for sure it's going to be Rock and Solo doing that to Roman. Because now, Roman doesn't have the title. He doesn't have, it's not hanging over everything now. So now people can cheer Roman. So anybody who wanted him to lose the title, they can now cheer him because they're like, thank goodness he finally lost the title. For all the people who didn't want him to have it this long. So, and they can definitely make this work. So, hey, how fast Bianca going to turn heel on Bayley? I mean, we did mention that earlier today. I think Bianca's someone they got to come up with a little bit interesting direction for, especially now that she's with this whole, the trio of Jade and Naomi. I think they're going to run with that for a little while. But I think eventually you are going to see Bianca come out of this as the person that's getting booed. So I think that's definitely something. But, yeah. By the way, shout out, Peter. Yeah, I appreciate that. We didn't get everything right, but we definitely felt like they were moving in a lot of these directions. Like we said, sure, we picked Austin over Taker, but I think you could tell that these were just this is the Triple H way. Like everything you saw tonight was the Triple H way. Everything you saw last night's the Triple H way. And I think sometimes it's so hard, like especially even for me, watching WWE for as long as I have now, I guess, it is hard to kind of change your mind on the way that Vince did things and the way Triple H does things because you're always expecting like that swerve that is not going to make any sense. Because unfortunately, that became like, a common theme at times, or the just stuff just would not get you emotionally invested. Like it was there, and then it'd just be the same old thing every single time. That was like, if you're talking about the different down points of WWE and all that, that's what it was. Like you just really felt like you never were in a situation where you kind of got what you thought you should get continually. Now, again, not to say they didn't do good things, because certainly they did, but I think what Triple H has done, like they always deliver these big moments, and I think that is just something where it makes it a little more predictable, but it's okay because you're getting the moments that you want, I think, for most people, and so that's definitely something. So, but I appreciate you watching. Yeah, we're going to have I know WrestleMania is ending, but the story is just beginning. Here at Wrestling Reaction. How about that? So we're just beginning our story here on the channel. So we're not going to finish the story anytime soon. At least I hope not. So yeah, but all right, let's see what else we need to get to here. I know I'm trying to catch up on you guys' comments. Yeah, so I don't know. For you, yeah, I'm looking at some of your comments in this about the interference. Yeah, lots of stuff about Roman losing this thing. Shout out to Will. I appreciate you. Yeah, hey, I appreciate you watching. That means a lot. Again, I'm just a dude on the internet doing videos because I am just seemingly addicted to wrestling booking and just how they do things. Like I love that kind of stuff. I love the story type elements and everything. So yeah, a lot of spin-off stories. Yeah, you're right. T-Rob here. They got a lot they can do. And I think that's something that also stands out with Triple H. Like, you don't ever feel like you're just getting, all right, it's just this one person and this other person. That's the whole story. Think about how many, like, different people they tie into every single story, right? It's even, we talked about the Sami Zayn, Chad Gable thing with Gunther. Like, Gable's involved there. Obviously, everything with Cody and Roman. Even the triple threat tonight. Like, you've got stuff coming out of it with Owens and Orton and Paul and all this, and you got the women's stuff. Like there's so many people that are all connected. Triple H loves his factions, and that helps because you can tell all these different stories because you got so many people that you can kind of tie in. It keeps things fresh. You don't have the same thing over and over and over again, where it felt like for the longest time that was the way it was. And now you've got Cody as champion, and guess what? Like, you got so many things that they've never done before. There are so many matches now that they can do that are going to feel fresh, because we've never seen it. And I think that is just something where you can go, you could line up how many challengers for Cody right now. And I might do a video on this. Like, there are so many people that you can put at the top of the list that you love to see Cody now in a championship feud with, for Cody as the champion, not the challenger. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see what they do with all this. So, hey, Riley, you're probably one of the only person crying when Cody got the win. There are probably a lot of tears out there. I mean, Michael Cole was tearing up. Like, he was emotional. And, yeah, so I will say, and I know everyone will have their opinion on Cody's. I get it. Or Cody, I get it. I understand. He may not be for everybody. But I think, to me, the Randy Orton feud with Cody, whenever we get there, we're going to get there. Trust me. The Randy Orton back to heel mode against Cody, it is going to be fantastic because there is so much history between those two, as we know. I am most excited for that. That may be like one of the top ones on the list for me because I feel like we know Triple H with Orton and Cody, like his two guys. Are you kidding me? Triple H is going to cook up something special for Cody and Orton. I can tell you that whenever we get there. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, this is a good point too. I wanted to bring this up because I have it in my notes here. I'm trying to find the spot. I thought it was really cool. Like, this was sort of I hate to say it was like the anti-Lex Luger, where you had everybody come out after Luger beat Yokozuna by countout. Like, didn't even win the title, which was just ridiculous back then when you think about it. But, like, Cody finishes the story here. He becomes a champion. You get all the top guys coming out. And, again, a good comment here about how maybe it reminds you when Sting beat Hogan. And that's another discussion. We can talk about why that shouldn't have happened the way that it happened. But still, what it does, and here's what I like about this, and again, thinking about it, I'm like, Triple H, old school guy, makes so much sense. Why did they have everybody come out there? Because now, what does it do? You see Cody there aligned with, I'm trying to see everybody out on my list. If I forget somebody, let me know. Cena's out there, Punk's out there, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Kevin Owens. I may have forgotten somebody, but I know like the family and everybody, but just the top wrestlers. What that does is it now shows you that, okay, here are all your top baby faces, right? And this is old school way of thinking. But it also shows you like, hey, these are guys who can be at Cody's level. Like these are guys who are associated with Cody, who's now the cool guy, right? He's the champion. He's now the guy. So it automatically raises the level of these guys too, just by being associated with Cody, even though we know that they have been, for a while now. But I think that's that visual that makes it really cool too. So, yeah, but I thought that was really, really good. So, all right, let's see what else we need to get to here. Really appreciate you guys. An all-timer here on the live stream. Not surprised because we have a lot of people coming in. So I think, boy, the Luger moment. That's unfortunately an infamous moment that not many people want to remember, but that was a brutal one. They did the anti-Luger tonight. That was good. So Cody actually won the title. And there was no count-out. That helped, or whatever it was. So, But you were waiting for Orton to RKO Cody. That's coming. Trust me, they're going to get there. And there's so many things they can do now. Like, there are so many things, and I'm so excited about it because it's freshening up. Even if, like, this isn't like an anti-Reigns thing either, to me. Like, for me, I'm like, this is just, now it gives you so much to work with, knowing that Roman's probably leaving for a bit. As I said, my prediction would be you're moving towards Cody versus Rock at SummerSlam. You bring Roman back for that. He turns on Rock, or however you want to do it. All of a sudden, you're cheering Reigns. We build that match up to WrestleMania 41. I think that's the expectation there. So, yeah. Richard, look, you're asking what's next. There's going to be plenty next. It's a different story now. We finally can return the book to the library. That's the way I see it. This is a book we can finally return because we got another book. It's the sequel has come out. Now, people would say the sequel's never as good as the first one, but I don't know. Triple H's been pretty good at this. So he may have something cooking that will be equal, perhaps, but we'll find out. So, Seth was he was struggling during the celebration. Now he could have just been selling, right? But I'm not sure. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna get to a super chat here. There's a couple of stuff here I'm trying to get. Again, guys, this is just a reaction show. I know some people like watch the review stuff. Like, I'm not doing this as a straight review, match by match. You guys watch the show. I'm just here to react with you guys and have a fun discussion. So, I'm not going to go match by match. I'll save that for the videos that I do probably in the next couple days, kind of looking at some of the stuff. Of course, we got Raw after WrestleMania tomorrow night. It's going to be fantastic, too. We might do a live stream tomorrow night after Raw. It might be that good. So, let me get to this one. By the way, $4.99 super chat. Dylan, I appreciate this. $4.99. You, too, can leave a super chat. If you want to make sure I see your comment, because, again, we got a lot coming in here, and I want to get to as many as I can. But appreciate that. All the babyface who got screwed by the Bloodline should have taken the Rock down. If Rock starts firing people, that's a good point. Like, Rock's been playing. I mean, did it last night, right? Played up telling the referee, no countouts, all this other stuff. So, I mean, there are holes in the logic of the Rock's power, because tonight, why wouldn't he have just done the same thing, right? But The Undertaker prevented him from doing that. And so, I thought you could see a situation where if they weren't going to bring back the Legends, you definitely could have brought, back the entire crew there. Whether you could put Zayn out there, Owens. But I guess that was kind of the point for them bringing them out at the end, other than just the celebration, of course. But, but again, I appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Really do. I will, let's see, get to this one. Robert, awesome night. I do think there is tension in the Bloodline moving forward, because I think if you go back, there was something coming out of this. They did two things that I thought there was really, they didn't do as much as you thought, because I think what they wanted to do is make this all about Cody, which makes sense, because now you have a question coming out with the Bloodline. Roman lost. What now? Like, how is everyone going to react to Roman losing? I think that's the big question. But you also had two things here. They did a camera shot where after, Cody's in the ring celebrating all this, they had Rock just sort of staring down Roman a little bit. It was like probably 2 seconds. But they cut back off of it, went to whatever else. And you also had Solo coming out, and he's yelling at Reigns, finish him, finish the story, and he's just yelling, because he couldn't get it done the first time, right? They did the double team. Roman couldn't get the job done. So they do it again, and Solo's picking up the aggression a little bit. We've never really heard Solo yell at Roman. We saw that tonight. And I think you had Roman's response where he just said, I know. So there's a little bit of tension there that maybe they wanted to fly under the radar a little bit. You guys know I'm not letting anything fly under the radar when it comes to the bloodline. I'm trying to catch every single word, everything. So, I think we're definitely going to get the tension with the bloodline. I just don't know the timeline. We'll see what happens. It's got to be soon. You got to come out of this with something big, I think. And I think we're about to get our answer. Maybe as soon as Friday. I'm not sure. So, yep. Charles Robinson. That guy's kept a job forever. He can't fire Charles. Not even The Rock can fire Charles Robinson, right? Not even The Rock can get rid of Little Nate. So, But, all right, let's see what else we got. Cody did talk with Seth at the end. I think Seth said something. I was trying to remember what he said. Something like, this is your era now or your time now or something like that. I was trying to read the words that came out, but it's something like that. So, oh, this comment got me. Charles Robinson versus The Rock, 2 out of 3 falls on SmackDown. The Rock just went 45 minutes last night in the second longest main event in WrestleMania history. I don't think The Rock's doing 3 falls, even 2 falls, even if he got the sweep. I don't think he's doing 2 falls even against Charles Robb. I don't think that's happening. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Solo was yelling at Reigns. Like, that was what I found interesting. And I think there's definitely something to that. Solo's getting pissed off at Roman, and we know why. Like, The Rock has gotten to Solo. We've pointed out on other videos. I think that's absolutely going to happen. So, but we'll see there. All right, what else? Let's see. Anything else? Obviously, we're going to talk mostly about the big stuff here on this, but I'm trying to think, was there anything else we missed earlier? I thought AJ Styles and LA Knight was maybe better than people thought it would be. I think it makes sense because to me, AJ Styles seemed like the right guy to put in there with LA Knight. If you want to give him like his first shining moment, I thought, at WrestleMania, I thought Styles did a great job kind of putting LA Knight over. Not going to be the most memorable match of the weekend, but I thought it was good. And LA Knight is over with the crowd. You could hear that in Philadelphia. So I thought, it was definitely maybe a little better than I thought, because people were picking on the build to it, where you got these guys just all over the place. But yeah, you're right. AJ can have a great match with a broomstick, but luckily LA Knight's a little bit better than a broomstick, and so I think they did a good job, kind of now building LA Knight coming out of this, because he can be someone that you start to push back into that world title picture at some point, but you can also give him a good run, maybe as a U.S. champion or something. So yeah, everybody's mentioning how Ambrose coming back. You had to think about it when that Shield music hit. I'm telling you, I had to take a second to think. I'm like, wait a second. There's no way they're pulling this off. So it took me a second to realize exactly what they were going to do with Rollins. But that's pretty good. So, yeah. But, best WrestleMania. I'm curious to hear what the discourse is going to be on this. Like, where will this WrestleMania rank in terms of the all-timers? Now, I don't think this is, WrestleMania 17 level, 19, ones like that are probably way up there, 30 probably for some people with the Daniel Bryan stuff. But this was one where the main events totally delivered. And I know people thought last night's main event was a little slow-paced early, but I thought it was what we've expected it to be. I didn't think The Rock was going 45 minutes, but you knew it was going to be kind of a methodical thing. But this will be up there, I think, in terms of, where it ranks, because it's hard to, time. I don't remember every single match on every single card at this point. They're the ones, like I said, top of mind for me, 17, 19, ones like that. So, but we'll see. Top 5, you think? I don't know. We'll see. We may have a discussion on that at some point. Got to let it set in a little bit. But I think the closing visuals of both nights were all-timers for sure, based on how that match finished on night 1 and Cody finishing the story on night 2. So, pretty good. So, pretty good. For sure. So, all right. Let's see what else we got here. But, again, guys, if you're just hopping in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can also join the membership tier we have. It's just basically a donation tier, $2.99 a month. You can join. It just allows me to make more videos. That's really all it is. So if you want to join that, there's a join button. You can leave a super chat, $sign down there. You can jump in with the super chat, supporting the channel here, and allow me to make more videos for you guys. So I really appreciate it, as always. So We all thought the Shield was coming back. I mean, I was just trying to figure out how they were going to do it with Reigns already out there. Like, I was wondering, were they just going to morph Reigns into the Shield? Or was it just going to be Seth and Moxley? Or Ambrose, sorry. Coming back and reuniting. But that would have been a moment, for sure. Now, that would have been unforgettable, without a doubt. So, Drew losing was your saving grace for WrestleMania. Well, poor Drew, right? The guy finally gets his moment. But I thought that's why it was great, is because they accomplished everything they wanted to accomplish. Drew got his big moment in front of fans. You had CM Punk take him out to further the heat now between those two moving forward. Like, if you thought it was bad before, this takes that view to another level. And then you get the cash in with Priest. Priest gets his big moment too. So I thought that was probably one of the most well-booked things they did all weekend, because it accomplished every goal they wanted to accomplish. So, yeah, that's it. All right, what else do we need to get to here? Manny going to go top 5? Most definitely. Yeah, it may be. Like I said, it's hard for me always just to rank these things in the moment, because it's like night 1 was so good last year. Night 2, though, probably didn't live up to it. So I don't know if you rank it as a whole. And it's the 2-night events, too, that are always hard. I think you have to rank them probably by each night, because it may be a little unfair to rank a 2-night WrestleMania against a 1-night WrestleMania 30 years ago or whatever. But nonetheless, it was a big show, and it will be one that I think people are going to always remember because of Cody finishing the story. And, The Rock made his return. So a lot of stuff with that. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens here. I know Drew, Seth, Becky, Roman, all leaving for a while. It's interesting to think about. So I'm curious to see kind of that group, who we see regularly, who we don't see regularly, if anyone, here over the next couple months. Because there's certainly, that could leave a little bit of a gap when you think about all the big names that are in that group. If anyone were to, we know Roman, as we said, is leaving for a bit. They may do something on Friday just to kind of write him out for a while. But yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, because we know the draft's coming up too, and I think they're gonna definitely have to do some shuffling, especially SmackDown. They need a little more, I think, mid-card something on SmackDown. So we'll see how they shuffle the deck. Raw's roster's stacked right now, but yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with SmackDown. The Raw after Mania, where is that at tomorrow? I'm gonna look it up for you right now. I feel like I should know this, but I truly do not remember where the Raw after Mania is tomorrow. It's got to be, let's see. Somebody else can probably find it quicker than I can. Like, my Google is terrible here. But April 8th, Raw. I know this is great live streaming, but just let it's got to be in the Wells Fargo Center. Yeah, so it's there. Wells Fargo Center is the site for Raw. If anyone's going to be there, let me know. But yeah, if anyone was there tonight too, let us know in the comments. So I think the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is going to feel like the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania tomorrow night. That's my guess. I think Triple H is going to make it very special. We will have probably some NXT involvement. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming out of that Raw tomorrow night. So, yeah, Cody getting emotional during the press conference. That's the thing, right? Doing this, I'm not having a chance to listen or watch the press conference. So I'll do something on that tomorrow, because I'm sure that in of itself is just a spectacle to see Cody answering the questions and doing all that. So, yep, the Renaissance era is here. So, yeah, I think the Renaissance era is for sure here. And it's a good one. Bring it up here. What was your favorite match of the weekend? You guys let me know in your comments here. What was the best match of WrestleMania weekend? I'm curious to know what you think, because I think there's a couple great ones. It's hard to... You're probably not going to beat the spectacle that was Cody beating Reigns, but a lot of good matches, I thought, overall. Like I said, I really only thought there was one that disappointed. So, Braun Breaker. I'm ready for the Braun Breaker era. Let's get Braun. Let's get him going. Braun Breaker and Tiffany Stratton. You guys know I'm all in on both those two. So, both of those two, I think, give them the rocket push. Let's get them to the moon. So, be fine. Yeah, but Sammy and Gunther getting votes. Bayley and Sky. AJ versus LA Knight. Yeah, I thought AJ versus LA Knight was better than I thought it would be. I don't know why. Not that I was discounting either man, but it felt like people were down on that match for some reason. And I thought it was really good. So, yeah, Jade. We talked about Jade on the morning reaction. I'm like, what day did we do that? We did that this morning. Yeah. We talked about Jade. I thought Jade looked good. Of course, Jade always looks good. But in terms of like how they they presented her and just the performance, like they put her in a position to succeed. I thought she did really well. She's still a long way from probably doing, the one-on-one WrestleMania main event type match that they want her to have, whether that's with a Bianca or Rhea Ripley or something. But I thought Jade looked good. They're protecting, they're accentuating the strengths, hiding the weaknesses. That's what a good booker does. And so Triple H is doing that right now. So, yeah, worst match. I'm not even going to poll you guys on that. I know what you think the worst match was. And unfortunately for those two guys, yeah, maybe we see them go back to being a tag team if they can possibly do that based on the story. But, yeah, thank you, Roman Reigns. Acknowledge your tribal chief. The tribal chief's watch has ended as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, or however they phrase it. So, quite a run from Roman Reigns. There's no question. And I know people can talk about how many matches he had and everything, but the thing is, when you're having a run that long, no, it was not like back in the day with Bruno and all these other people, but still, there were so many matches that were just felt big, and I know it kind of got the same thing time after time with the interference and such, but at least it all built to something that is going to ultimately matter with Cody winning, and so at least you got the payoff. So, yeah. Hey, this one I think is going to be interesting, right? The good guy finally wins. Cody wins. Think about how many good guy champions like I feel like we have right now, right? Is it that many, or am I overplaying that? Damian Priest feels like a good guy coming out tonight, but he's not. If you got Cody, you got Sami Zayn, you got Miz and R-Truth, so tag team champions there. Of course, it's split the other way too. Bayley, women's champion. Rhea Ripley feels like a good a good person. Like she feels like a babyface, even though she's a heel. But we did talk about that too. You don't really need that hard split anymore in terms of like babyface and heel. Some people you do, but not everybody. And so, yeah, a lot of interesting champions. Like it is kind of a new era, especially coming out of this, because you've got new champions. Like I said, we got Zayn and Gable can face off at some point soon. You've got Bayley with new challengers potentially. You've got Rhea with new challengers. I'm curious to see where they go with Rhea, like in the short term. That's what I'm really interested to see, because I think there's not maybe a lot of people that feel like they're on Rhea's level by any means, like Becky was there. But yeah, I'm not sure where they go next with Rhea. I mean, we know the big matches they can build to, but I'm not sure who's next for her. We'll find out. But so, yeah, The Undertaker taking out the final boss. There's some good storytelling in that, even though just not a lot of, I don't know, like I said, not a lot of history necessarily between The Undertaker and The Rock. It's one of those Attitude Era pairings that I can't remember really any matches that The Undertaker and The Rock had that it just wowed me. But they were always connected in some way based on the Attitude Era. So, yeah, Taker coming down. He was the surprise. We thought Austin was the surprise. It was Taker. He was the one that was the surprise. I was hoping he'd come out in the full Taker gear, but that's all right. It's Undertaker. He deserves to wear whatever he wants to wear these days. So he can do whatever he wants. So, yeah. Yeah, Rhea versus Jade. I mean, we said that. I think that was our call this morning. We said the next year WrestleMania 41, which I am going to do. You guys are going to enjoy this one. I've already made my list. I'm going to do a video probably in the next 2 days. I'm going to give you 5 matches that I think are going to be on the WrestleMania 41 card. And you guys can probably even name them right here. Like, I don't think they're that hard to predict. But I'll give you 5 matches. Reed versus Jade or Reed. Rhea versus Jade or Rhea versus Bianca, I think is definitely a possibility for next year's WrestleMania, because they're building up this streak with Bianca too. Like, she's the new Undertaker, right? Like, she's got the streak going at Mania. So, Rhea versus the streak, Bianca's streak. So, we'll find out. So, yeah, Rock's heading back to Hollywood, in case anyone didn't know. He's got to film, what is it, the Smashing Machine, the Mark Kerr thing. So, Rock's out of here for a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they do something. I mean, they gotta push the Bloodline forward somehow coming out of this, even though we got the tension between Reigns and Solo. Not everybody's just going to disappear, I don't think, after WrestleMania. But, yeah, so. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a good point. You're right. Yeah, it's just the fact that it was WrestleMania, and that's the final ball stage, and Taker is there. And no, I get you. That's a great point. So, great point. But, all right, another super chat here. Parents, Arkansas. Wait, listen, for the $1.99 super chat, if you know, you know. That's all we'll say on that one. Save that one for tomorrow. That'll be a different live show we're doing tomorrow. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate you finding this channel, too. That's what I always find interesting. My work life blends over into wrestling now. So, yeah, everybody bringing up the Dean Ambrose thing and all that. So, yeah, but we'll see. So, All right, give me some other thoughts from you guys. What else do you have here? And we will wrap this up in just a bit. I know I'm curious to watch the press conference. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming out of that. Who's next for Cody? Who's the first feud for Cody coming out of this? Give me your prediction. Who's Cody going to face first? Because we know it's not going to be Reigns. So who's Cody facing next? That's what I find interesting. So, yeah. So there you go. Hey, it's not the only one probably. Talking about the tribal chief. You got to acknowledge the tribal chief. So acknowledge him. What a run by the tribal chief himself, Cody. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Cody. So, Seth, you think Seth's the first one? You guys are all weighing in with Seth. That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. We talked about it. I feel like they're really playing up Seth's injury. I don't know if they go there. Drew, it's an interesting one. Jay could be interesting. I feel like, I don't know. Does it seem like Jay and Jimmy are getting back together here? The guy just, at some point, you just got to spear your brother off a stage onto a table to make you come back together. If you're going to do it any other way, think about any fights you've ever had with your brother or whatever. You probably had to spear him off a stage onto a table to make you realize how much you loved him, right? So that's normal, isn't it? So, yeah, Gunther. I see a lot of Gunthers here. When is Bash in Berlin? That's soon, right? Cody Gunther. That could happen. Cody and Solo. Okay. All right. Solo may want to step up. He may feel like, if we get the turn, maybe Rock sends Solo after Cody, and they do that immediately. I don't know. But, yeah, I think Seth taking a break. I could definitely see that. Because, I feel like Becky's taking a break. Or did I just make that up? Don't quote me on that. I feel like somewhere we got the report that maybe Becky's taking a break. I could be wrong. But, yeah. I think Drew is so tied into the CM Punk thing. Now, here's a question for you. CM Punk tonight, he takes off the arm brace. Was that to tell us like he's good to go? Or I didn't get a chance to circle back around to that, which I'm sure we'll read into it a lot. But I thought that was a sign that, hey, he's good to go. Like he's ready to wrestle. But maybe I'm wrong. So Balor's an interesting one. See, I think the Balor Priest thing is going to get fascinating here. And I don't know how they're going to do it. But, Priest winning was great because it does set up a lot of interesting sort of story threads here that they can work with. So, Priest, do they do Priest? Do they just say, hey, we're just going to combine these championships? I don't know. Rock kept saying he's going to make that title go away. Is he going to make it go away now that Priest has it? I don't know. So Solo's trying to go solo. That's possible. I could see that from Solo. I think you've got to do a Cody Solo match at some point, right? That's got to happen. But maybe it is the Ring General. Maybe it's Gunther. Maybe that's the next guy. But I don't know. Do you want to beat Gunther right away if that happens? Or do you want to save Gunther to win the title at some point? I guess you can either way. But I'm curious, though, to see what happens with that. But it's going to be someone... And that's the thing. The draft is when. You guys have to remind me when the draft is. It's coming up soon, right? The next couple weeks, maybe? But, yeah, so we're going to have a shakeup. There's going to be more people that are going to be tied in. And that's where I think getting Orton combined with Cody somehow would be something. Yeah, I figured Punk, it's too short. Like, too short of a time, right? Too short of a time. So, yeah. I don't think Punk's coming back in the ring just yet, but I wonder if maybe he was trying to say, hey, I'm a little further along than you think. And but Drew did pretty much say if he ever gets back in the ring, Drew was going to end his career. So they're playing that up for sure. So, yeah. But Rock's last match was, well, if you take out the Eric Rowan match, wasn't that? That was an official match. Now, full-time match, yeah, it was Cena. So, and that was what? 11 years ago now, something like that. So, yeah. Judgment Day, remember, we said too on the reaction show after WrestleMania Night 1, Rhea was not happy with Balor and Priest, and she kind of pointed that out, saying she was upset that they lost the titles. She praised Dom and all this, and of course, she was still the champion. But I think this kind of can turn things a little bit for Judgment Day, where now all of a sudden that dissension closes up a little bit, but then that's where, like I said, you could get the jealousy seep in from either Balor, from Dom. Maybe you have Dom try to go out. Like, there's a lot of things you can do now with Judgment Day. And I think he does give Judgment Day a little bit of a refresh here. And so I don't know if Triple H is ready to break them up just yet, but I think Priest having the title could lead to that sooner rather than later, based on intentions and motivations for that. So, do we really think Drew's leaving WWE? I don't think so. I don't know. Like I think it was Edward said earlier. Like, I just don't think you're giving Drew that title for that amount of time, even for 5 minutes, like it was pointed out earlier, if you think Drew's leaving. Otherwise, I think you just have Rollins beat him, and Priest can still cash in because Rollins is injured. And so I'm not sure. Like, I think that, I just feel like, as I said before, I feel like it's hard to say they would ever put Drew in that kind of position if they thought he was leaving. And so, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, Chris, I know you talk about like I feel like you're making a joke out of Drew. I think this is kind of, it plays into Drew though. Like the character he's playing, I feel like it's perfect for Drew now, because you've got a guy who's just trolled everybody into oblivion, and now he's the one who basically gets trolled at WrestleMania. And so he gets his comeuppance here, and I think that's what they wanted to do, because this only fuels what's next with Punk and Drew. And like I said too, I don't think they're doing all this stuff with Punk and Drew if they don't feel like they have that money match waiting on them, which my guess is probably SummerSlam. Think, if you could do The Rock and Cody and Punk and Drew at SummerSlam, I mean, that's already, top 2 matches look fantastic. So I think that's probably what you could see. But yeah, the contract stuff has to be sorted out. So I'm with you. They put way too much into this guy. And I mean, again, he won the championship. He just got cashed in on. So he comes out of it actually strong because he got cashed in after he got taken out by somebody else. So it actually didn't, I don't think it made Drew look bad. It kind of played into what Drew has done all along, and that's troll everybody. And it was Drew who ultimately got trolled here. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's a good point. Like the whole, and this was just one that, again, I just did not go further along into thinking about that with Taker, but it does make complete sense. Yeah, you're right. Rock playing up the final boss, all this stuff. And yeah, The Undertaker, Mr., the streak man, the man who has always been the guy at WrestleMania. Sorry, Rock, not going through him. So, yeah, but anyways, so, all right, see Taker's eyes. Taker, The Undertaker, there's one and only, right? So, the one and only Undertaker. But, all right, so we got that. So, we know, we've given our votes on who we think Cody is going to face coming out of WrestleMania. Priest, I'm curious just to see what they do here. I mean, is it going to be, and this is where the draft comes in, and like trying to figure out who's going to be on what brand and everything and all that. But, yeah, like I wanted to see what they do with Priest now. How quickly do they get to the Balor stuff, which we know they're going to get to. The Punk stuff will have to wait until Punk's ready, because, I mean, you could do Priest and Punk at some point, but you just feel like Punk and Drew is where all the money's headed when they do that match. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, I knew they hadn't specified a date yet, but I was wondering, I feel like Triple H had said, like, it'd be a couple weeks after WrestleMania. So I wonder if a couple weeks is, maybe it just means like May 1st or something, right? I was curious if it's going to be in April or May. So we did say this earlier about the new belt for Cody. I feel like this is a new era. Think about everything they just did to make it feel like a new era. If you're going to do a new era, I think you've got to do a new belt. I feel like that is, once again, the Triple H way. Like, you want everything to make it feel like this is a new thing that you're seeing. And I think the belt's a big part of that, because, I mean, it's what Cody's going to be carrying around all the time now. So I think they do a new belt. They got the money, I think, to do it. So they should. But, yeah, the Austin did the interview, what was it, ESPN, a while back, or maybe did some one recently too. But maybe that was it too, where like you didn't want to bring Austin back because he didn't want the expectation that he was going to have another match, if you think about it. Like, he didn't want to overshadow Cody, but maybe it's also he did not want people thinking he's going to have another match. Maybe he thought the send-off with Owens was exactly what he wanted, and he doesn't want to put himself in that position where there are any expectations he's going to get in the ring again. Which, let's be honest too, if you really do think about it, if Austin had stunnered The Rock, then you would have had a lot of people saying, all right, we're getting Austin The Rock again. And if you can't deliver that match, that's where people can get a little upset. But, yeah, I mean, look, I think you certainly could have done something. And, I mean, this is a good point, too. Like, even if he hits the stunner and hurts himself doing the stunner or something, I mean, that's just, you never know how that stuff can. I mean, we're talking about that with The Rock going in this thing, right? We're like, hopefully The Rock didn't get injured. I mean, he had a match 11 years ago and he got injured. So how's he going to do 11 years later? And so, yeah. But we'll see. So, all right. What current belt looks like booty? Well, it looks like something. It's definitely not something that I think they're going to stick with. I think they're going to change the belt. So hopefully it goes. We said the Winged Eagle earlier was our vote. We wanted the Winged Eagle back. I'd be all for that. That's what I think is the best looking belt they've ever had. So yeah. But all right, guys, we will wrap up here in just a few. Anything else you want to talk about? Any questions? Any comments? Leave them. Again, I really appreciate you joining. Hit that like button before you head out. Hit the subscribe button as well. We got a lot of stuff coming out over the next couple days. Looking at all this in a more organized form. Again, this is just me. Open it up to you guys, and we have a fun discussion, just like friends would do after any wrestling show. Like, that's what these reaction shows are about. We're not structuring every single match and everything. Like, we're having fun talking wrestling here. So, yeah, but I appreciate you guys. Yep. See you later. Good to see you. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing you on another live stream, even if it's not the wrestling live stream. There'll be another one out there. I'm sure you'll join. So, but yeah, that'd be good. I like this, Dante. Little Winged Eagle, little American flag looking belts. I like that. I think that's a good idea. Gotta have a little flavor. Everybody got a new belt. Like, they started personalizing it, right? And two, let's think about why they're doing this. They're doing it so they can sell the merch. Like, think about how many belts they're gonna sell tomorrow night alone if they bring out a new belt. So they're gonna sell a lot of these new belts for Cody. And I think that's what you want to. Like, it's just a merchandising opportunity that you're not going to ignore if you're WWE. This is the shining moment you've been building to for years. Cody, get that belt now. Because some people are saying Cody's not going to be champion for long. Go get that belt now. So, yeah. So there you go. We'll call it from day one. Well, we didn't get every part of the story right. We had fun trying to predict everything. The Austin one, I'm a little irked at. I'm like, come on, Triple H, just give me Steve Austin. That's all I wanted. But hey, we had fun breaking this stuff down, and I'm really curious now to see how the Bloodline stuff plays out, because I think that's where, I've been so invested in that. Like, I really wanted to see how they do this, but as I said, I think we're getting the clearer picture now. It's going to be The Rock turning solo on Reigns, and now we just see how they do it, because I think that's definitely coming based on everything they've hinted at. So, hey, that's okay. You like the spinner belt. That's fine. It fit the theme of Thugonomics. Yeah, I mean, it's all good. Like, that's what it said. That was the personalization of it, right? So Cody's not the master. He's not the Thugonomics guy. Cody and Thugonomics does not go together. I can't think of two polar opposites like Cody and Thugonomics. So you got to freshen it up for the American Nightmare here. So yeah, hey, you're welcome for the live stream. This is only the second time we've ever done this, as I said. Both have been today. We did the WrestleMania Night 1 reaction video this morning, so if you want to go check that out, you can. And, of course, we're doing this one now. And like I said, we may start making this a regular thing. We might do one for the Raw after WrestleMania tomorrow night. If you guys are up for it, give me a hell yeah in the comments, okay? Since we got no Steve Austin, give me a hell yeah in the comments if you want me to do a live stream tomorrow night after the Raw after WrestleMania. I think it's going to be worth it, because I'm guessing we're going to get something good there from Triple H. He's cooking up something. A little more cinema, maybe, from Triple H. So, yep, Damian Priest representing your champ. He's here, and it's Damian Priest, the new champ. So, yeah, Missing Truth, we talked about that on the other reaction video we did. Good for them. First time they've ever been tag team champions. First time Truth's ever gotten a win at WrestleMania. So, good for both those guys. They have been in this thing for the long haul, and sometimes they've just been there entertaining for the masses, and people haven't always appreciated it, but they're doing some good work right now. So good for them. We'll see where they go from there. So, yeah, all of Puerto Rico is going nuts, I'm sure. Congratulations. So maybe they come back for a PLE sometime soon. Get Priest in another top spot there. He may not be the champion then, but they'll give him something good to work with. So, yeah, that was good. So, appreciate you, Charles. Yeah, you were on the one this morning, on the one tonight. You spent a couple hours with us today here at Wrestling Reaction, and I do appreciate that. Yeah, I really do. So, appreciate it. Yeah, hey, we are in for a ride, and best WrestleMania ever. All right, hey, this is a good one. There's no doubt. These two nights delivered with the big matches, and that's what people pay to see. So deliver good stuff. So, all right, I'll answer these here, and then we'll wrap up here in just a few. Hold on, let me get back to this, Will. I got to go to the comments. I forgot myself what I asked here. Look at this. If you think the people want to have a Raw after WrestleMania live stream, we got a lot of hell yes coming in. I'm just going to put all these on the screen because you guys over-delivered in this one for sure. So I'm just going to put all these on the screen. So, all right, let's get back to this one. You guys are something. Do I think Cody would change the belt? Yes, I do. Do I think the Bloodline is over? I don't think the Bloodline is officially over yet, but I think tonight was what broke the Bloodline. I think that's what we're going to find out, is that tonight the Bloodline was broken by Roman Reigns. Coming up short, The Rock did everything he could. I mean, who knows? Was it The Rock who sent Jimmy and Solo out there? You know what I think. I think The Rock is carrying all the power now in the Bloodline, and he's about to take over when Roman goes away, and maybe The Rock sends him away. We'll find out. By the way, too, I don't know if you guys saw, a little spoiler out there. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you didn't see it, but there was a new signing today that was reported for WWE that is definitely going to factor into the Bloodline, is my guess. So, if you want to spoil it in the comments, you can. I don't like spoiling things for anybody purposefully. So, if you saw it, great. If you didn't, you can be surprised when he comes out. So, yeah. But, yeah, Bloodline, I mean, that's the thing, right? Bloodline's not over. The current iteration of the Bloodline is over because I think you're going to see the entire power dynamics about to change with The Rock and Roman. So, yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen. So, but we'll see. I mean, look, think about it too. I mean, you know, saying this, and there may be people who don't agree, but Cody has got to prove him. Like, now we find out, because if you think about this, one of the worst things that WWE has done over the years, pre-Triple H, they always have struggled booking the top babyface champions after they win the title. They always say the money's in the chase, right? Like, think about Daniel Bryan's reign when he won it at WrestleMania 30. He didn't do a whole lot after that. He had the stuff with Kane. He had some other, pretty lackluster. And I know the injury played into it too. But they've never, like, even going back, like, they've never had champions outside of, you know, maybe you say Austin, right? But some of the top, like, they've not done a great job booking, like, the top babyface champions. Because, again, that's the whole point, is that you want them chasing because it's going to give you that big moment like you got tonight with Cody. So the fact that you're not getting that, now you have to come up with something different. And so I'm curious to see if Triple H can do this better than Vince did, because that was always one of Vince's weaknesses, in my opinion, is that just could never book a babyface champion the right way, a world champion the right way. So, yeah, I can also guarantee you that he's not holding that. Cody's not going to be the champion for 1,000+ days. I am confident in saying that, because it is not going to happen. I don't think so. You're not going to have this kind of setup again to this extent, right? And so I think we know that. But yeah, I mean, Roman's still the tribal chief as of right now. As Butterfly says, Roman's still the king. Cody maybe not to king status just yet. He won the title, he got his moment, but now he's got to prove himself. Triple H going to put him through the grind here to see if he can prove himself. And he's got plenty of great opponents to work with, and I think that's where it's going to get exciting, is to see what kind of stories they tell here, because Cody's got a lot of talent to work with now. And we know he's going to get The Rock at some point. They're doing Cody versus The Rock. If it's at SummerSlam, great. If it's not, they're going to do it at some point. So we know that's happening. So, yeah. Will the new signee be with The Rock or Roman? Now, that's the question. Which one will he find himself aligned with? We will find out. The new signee. Again, look it up, guys, if you haven't seen it. There was definitely a big addition to the roster. One that people have been talking about for a while to kind of add into this whole thing. So, we'll see. But, yeah, Roman, I mean, you're probably not the only one that came back to wrestling to see Roman. Like, Roman, that's the thing, too. Like, you have to remember, the Bloodline brought a lot of people back to wrestling. Like, Roman's reign, pun intended, did bring a lot of people back. The ratings tell you. Like, there's just a lot of people who've jumped back in. And, yeah, I mean, Roman, he's done a lot with this storyline. I mean, like we said, before the Bloodline, maybe got drawn out a little bit until The Rock came back, but this was the storyline that was as good as anything they've done in a long time. And so you have to keep that in perspective too. Like, it is now Cody's turn, but the Bloodline, hey, you got to give thanks to the Bloodline in this current form, because they did a good job. So really getting things to where they are now. So, yeah, hey, this is a good point, too. I think it's a great point. Side effects of the Attitude Era, where there wasn't really any true, pure babyface. Fans no longer want goody-goody babyface. That's a great point. And we talked about that, too, I think maybe in the reaction show this morning, is that you don't really have those situations where you got to love everything about everybody. Like, everybody has strengths, everybody has flaws. And I think they've got to find ways to make Cody feel human, to where maybe he doesn't become that version of like John Cena that everybody turned against, right? That was like I said, in terms of Vince, like the booking and all that, that was a real flaw. Like they just could not figure out the way to do it. They just ultimately leaned into it, and of course it worked out well. Cena was fine, drew a lot of money, did okay, but still, I think it's definitely a great point here. So for sure. So, but all right, let's see what we want to do here. What else we got? So I know some people are chiming in with some other stuff, and Triple H says they're. Did he really say that? Did Triple H say that is that exactly what he said? News story with Roman Reigns, you're not going to believe, it'll shock us. Well, I think it's got to be something to do with the Bloodline, right? We're gonna find out. So even if he didn't say that, I am very curious to see what happens with Reigns. Like we said, we think the easy choice is that The Rock's going to turn on him and all this, but I appreciate that, Andrea. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I'm excited if that's the phrase, that's the wording Triple H used. I'm all in. So, I think this is the most interesting thing outside of what happens with Cody now as the champion. What happens with Roman? What happens with The Rock? What happens with the Bloodline? I mean, it's gonna be something. So, I'm curious because, like I said, whether it's the new signing coming in, how we see Reigns interact with The Rock now, when they have those interactions, because like we said, we know both of these guys are probably going away soon. And so how do they do that? Like Roman's not going to be on here every week out of this. I don't think that's going to happen. Because remember, Roman said too he was leaving, right? He said if he didn't win, like he was done or whatever, which that's just Roman being Roman. But I think that there's something that could be interesting coming out of that. So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to watching it. Did he say that in the press conference too? By the way, let me know on that. I look forward to watching those. I assume that that's still going on. But the new signing. Does anyone want to be spoiled? If you don't want to be spoiled by the new signing, turn off your headphones or exit the stream. Please hit the like button and subscribe button before you do that. But I'm going to give you a spoiler in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jacob Fatu is the spoiler, which again, everybody's talked about Jacob Fatu for a while now as being someone who could join. And so, yeah, I mean, he's perfect because he's part of the Bloodline. And so we're going to find out what's going on because I think that they clearly are going to align Jacob Fatu with someone. And it's just a matter of which way do they go here? Like, here's how I could see it, right? And you guys can give me your predictions in the comments. But like, to me, this feels like you're going to have the Bloodline Civil War again to where The Rock's Bloodline versus Roman's Bloodline, right? And I think you're going to have like the pairing off somehow. They're going to build to something like that. And so this is where you add a Jacob Fatu in. And so, yeah, I think it's that's what's going to happen. It's just a matter of which side does he join on. So, and I think it's a great signing because Jacob Fatu's always been someone that people felt like, this was an opportunity that was going to happen. It's just a long time to get here. So, I mean, Jacob Fatu has been talking about this himself for years now, about the opportunity potentially to join this storyline with the Bloodline. So, yeah, I think, and this is where, again, you think about Raw after WrestleMania, all this other stuff going on. Triple H cooking up some good stuff. Like, it doesn't end here, and I think that's what we got to remember. Some years it's felt like WrestleMania, and that's it. Now, I think, though, with Triple H in charge, that they're putting a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. Bloodline Civil War. We're getting that. It's just a different version this time. So, yeah, I think it's that's what we're about to get. So, yep, it's going to happen. So, did Pat say something about it? Okay, I wasn't sure. So, if anyone said something, whatever. But half the time, I'm usually not listening to commentary sometimes. I'm just kind of zoning in on my notes and everything. So, yeah, I think it's a great signing. He's a monster. Like he's going to be fun to watch, especially in like the WWE way. I think he's really good for it, and especially with what the Bloodline does. I think it's it's going to be good. So, yeah, he's someone else that can face Roman. We talked about Solo, The Rock, if they decide to go that route, if he aligns with them. The Rock kind of building his new bloodline. Maybe that's what happens is you get, Roman against everybody. Roman has to take all of them out. And that's, how it could unfold. So, I think, we'll see how it goes there. But, all right, what else we got? Well, I keep saying we're going to wrap up. This is it's WrestleMania 49. Let's keep this thing going for a few more minutes. Why not? We're having fun here. So, you have to keep The Rock heel. I don't think there's any question. They cannot turn The Rock here. I would be very disappointed if all of a sudden you come out and Reigns turns on The Rock, Solo stays with Reigns, all of this. I just don't think that's an option. I think we've seen that too many times now. You got to do something different, and The Rock's always talked about wanting to do things for the first time, do different stuff. This is how you do it. Yeah, you keep The Rock in this form. We got to keep the Final Boss's entrance, especially. The one he had last night at WrestleMania. He's not going to do it every night, but come on. That was special. So, will Roman be on SmackDown? That's what we don't know. We assume we're going to see so many people tomorrow night on Raw. I don't know who's going to be on SmackDown, which they'll announce it tomorrow night. So we'll find out tomorrow night. They may announce it before then of when we're going to see Roman next, when we're going to see The Rock next, because people are going to be wanting to know that, right? So they're going to announce that as early as tomorrow, but maybe they wait until Raw. But yeah, I think we're going to see them this week, for sure. So we have to. I don't think you can just take him away now. Now, the only way you take Roman away now is if you just essentially bring Rock out on Friday or whenever, and he just runs down Roman Reigns to the point to where, that makes it official. But I don't know. I feel like you got to have them both in the ring to make that turn or however they're going to do it. I don't think you need to do it with Roman not there. I think you need both of them there because it gives you more dramatic effect if both guys are there. You don't want The Rock just bad-mouthing Roman and Roman's not there. I feel like you can get to that, but the first phase of that needs to be both these guys in the ring, and then you have some sort of big development, whether it's Solo attacking Roman or whatever. So, you're gonna get your wish. Roman's gonna be in the movies. He'll do some Hollywood stuff for sure. So, but hey, I did say as I put out the YouTube short earlier, Roman's gonna regret the spear. Don't forget about the spear from last night. Even though it was accidental, The Rock wrote that on the list of things that he does not like about Roman Reigns now. Spear in the man. Rock's not going to forget that, and I think that just fuels the turn for The Rock. It's going to happen, and that's just one other thing. You saw that last night. You saw the spear last night. Solo getting a little bit aggressive with Roman tonight. It all ties together. So, but we'll see. So, I think you got to do something on SmackDown to really push this forward. I agree. I think you got to do it now. You can't wait because you want to immediately capitalize on this coming out of it. It's a new era. Let's not just push the new era with Cody. Let's push the new era of the Bloodline. Let's push everything is sort of changing here. You do it tonight. Excuse me, you do it either on Raw, SmackDown, whatever. They're not going to do it on Raw. Cody's show is going to be Raw. So that's going to be the Cody show tomorrow night. But they'll have something big planned, I'm sure. So, look, I think the Cody thing, younger Roman, Cody is just, and we brought it up a few minutes ago, Cody is just he's just such a baby face that it maybe is an era where you want kind of that guy who's, I don't know, I'm not going to say like Punk, but Punk he's kind of everything, right? And it's just even Seth to a certain extent, Seth's kind of, he can be the baby face, he can be the heel, he can be the same character all at the same time. Cody he's your traditional face of the company, cheer the good guy. He's your old school face. That's what he is. And so they'll have stuff to work with. They're going to, again, they have a lot of opponents to work with. They just got to tell the story. I think, as I said before, I think the money feud outside of Cody and Rock, to me, is Cody and Punk. You can do that eventually. But I think it's Cody and Orton. I think Cody and Randy Orton is going to be, that will probably be one of the more personal ones that they do, and I think that's why it'll be one of the best ones they do. And so, is it going to happen immediately? Probably not, but I think Cody and Orton is going to be the big one if it's not the obvious choice, of course, with The Rock, because they're going to do that eventually too. But I think Cody and Orton is the one that I'm most excited about, probably just from the Triple H standpoint, knowing how much he loves both those guys. So he will put everything he has into Cody and Orton story. So, but that's it. Went from Monday Night Rollins to Monday Night Rhodes. Yep. It is the Cody Rhodes show now. So Netflix is coming soon. When does the Netflix deal start again? It's not that soon, but I don't know if Cody will have the title by the time they get to Netflix, but he may. That's not that far away, is it? So, yeah. But, yeah, Will, that was... I look back on that one, and that was... It just made the most sense. Like, you don't put Punk out there for any reason. Sure, it'd be great for the fans just to hear him, but they were putting him out there to cost Drew the title. It really felt that way, and I think it was perfect. You could play all the sides into it where Drew gets his moment, Priest cashes in, Punk escalates the feud with McIntyre. It accomplished everything they could get in that one segment. And so I thought it was a perfect way to start night 2, and I thought it was perfect booking, to be honest with you. So I know people are going to be upset. Maybe Drew didn't get this long reign, but I think that's perfect for Drew's character. He finally got the moment he wanted, but then it was just completely taken away from him by Punk, who he just hates more than life itself. Like, he hates everything about CM Punk. So it's great. So very predictable, but it worked for sure. So, all right. What else do we have here? Let's see. I'm going to keep getting to you guys. Again, I love the comments here because you guys say things that, like, I just don't think about. And so this gets my mind going. I'm like, I got to do these videos the next couple of days. I got to keep you guys happy. I need some material here. So, some good stuff. So, last man standing, Drew versus CM Punk. Give it to me. They'll do well with that. Yeah, the Netflix deal is January. That's right, 2025. So, we still don't know where they're going, by the way, but in the in-between time, because they're finished up with USA Network, in October, September, something like that. They got to find somewhere to go for 3 months. So, I don't think they've announced that yet, but they'll find a home. Raw will not be off the air for 3 months. I can guarantee you that. So, even if they just do it on their own thing. So, but anyways, all right. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up in a couple minutes because I'm not going to have a voice to be able to do these videos for you guys, but we got all the hell yes earlier. So we're going to do the Raw stream tomorrow night. We'll do that after the show. Should be fun. That's the plan right now. Yeah, we'll do this and have some fun with that. I think we'll have some big stuff coming out of it, as we said. And, of course, I'm going to put up some videos for you guys tomorrow, too. Some interesting stuff I'm working on with the Bloodline moving forward, and some other stuff as well. SmackDown is going back to USA, Raw going to Netflix. So we know that. That's the official deals. SmackDown makes the jump back to USA, so it basically just replaces Raw. But I think what's going to be interesting, we see like nights, because I don't know if they've announced the SmackDown night just yet. Raw, I'm pretty sure they did confirm, or all but confirm, it is going to be on Monday. But yeah, so we'll find out. But all right, what else? Yeah. Hey, Tony said WWE's back. Thought The Rock would have hit Roman with the rock bottom, but yeah, The Rock has put us on a ride. I don't think The Rock's done yet. I think The Rock's he's still in the car. He may leave short term, but he may just be taking a nap in the back seat. Rock's still in the car. He's going to be in the car for a while as the TKO board member now and all that. So I think you're going to get more Rock matches. He hinted at it last night in the press conference. So yeah, I think we're going to find out. So what we got with The Rock coming up soon. We're going to do Rock Cody. It's going to happen at some point. So do I think Jade will be next for Rhea? No, I don't, because I think Jade's still far off from that probably moment. I think if they do that match, that to me is like, all right, Jade has gotten where we think she's going to get to, and that's like a WrestleMania type match, which could be a year from now. I think that would be, to me, you place 2 bets. If you're going to place 2 bets on, bet responsibly. I'm not giving you betting advice, but it would be Rhea versus Bianca or Rhea versus Jade next year at WrestleMania, I think is what happens. Because I could see Rhea carrying this title all the way to next year. Because like I said earlier, who are the challengers right now? Who are the legitimate challengers that are going to take the belt off of her if they don't go to Bianca or Jade now? It's not really anybody. Unless they, do a shock thing like from NXT or something, bring somebody up and do that. So that could be possible. But yeah, so look, it's true. Like there is a lot of incentive for The Rock to make this as good as it's ever been, because he now has financial stake in this. And so yeah, like The Rock he's got a lot that he probably wants to accomplish. And I think it will involve him doing more matches, because if he does more matches, that means more money. Let's just call it what it is. Rock is a draw. If he does matches, if he and Cody are wrestling in Cleveland at SummerSlam, that's going to make money. So no question. No question. So, yep. but there you go. Yeah, Rock's schedule. He's working on movies. He's doing the Mark Kerr thing, the Smashing Machine, I think it's called. So he will not be a regular by any means, but they'll definitely set some stuff up before he goes, and then I think he'll make his run back around for SummerSlam. That's just my guess. So, yeah, a better bet is Jade versus Bianca, which you guys know I've talked about that a couple months ago. I thought either they team up Jade and Bianca as a tag team to go after Asuka and Kairi Sane, or do they just go ahead and rush into Bianca and Jade? You saw the reaction those two got at the Royal Rumble. And so, I mean, they definitely want to do that one too. So, again, you still got big money matches on the women's side. You got Rhea versus Bianca, Rhea versus Jade, Bianca versus Jade. Like, you got a lot of combinations with those three, just in particular. And then, like I mentioned, that's where you start building up other people. You know, Becky's still there. Charlotte's going to come back at some point. You've got Bayley. I know I'm going to forget people, but I'm just saying. Tiffany Stratton, like I said, I want to see a big year from her. There's a lot of good stuff you can do on the women's side, for sure. So, yep. But we'll find out. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hop off. I almost went an hour and a half here. I appreciate all the kind words. I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. We'll start doing more of these live streams because they have done very well. Because, again, I know you guys want to just chat in real time, and so do I. I don't want to just have to structure the shows and videos and all that. Like, I just love talking wrestling with people. So that's what we do here on these reaction streams. So this was a big one. Night 2, Cody finishes the story. And, yeah, so on your way out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got all the hell yes earlier, so we're going to do a live stream tomorrow night after Raw. And, yeah, hey, we just have fun here. So that's what we do. Yeah, hey, appreciate it, Will. Appreciate it, Chris. Yeah, I mean, we just have fun. That's all we do here. We talk wrestling. We don't get too hot take-ish or anything like that. I give you my thoughts. I love the storytelling and booking aspect of things. As you guys know, if you subscribe, that's what all the videos are usually about. It's that kind of stuff, trying to predict the storylines, figure out where they go next, all of this. Yeah, hope you're off working time tomorrow night. Would be fun to do the stream after Raw. I'm assuming we're going to have a lot to talk about. And, yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. So, again, I appreciate you watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button on your way out. And we will talk tomorrow night after Raw. The Raw after WrestleMania. Will it feel like it again? I think it will. But for now, what we do know, Cody Rhodes has finished the story, and we will have a lot of stuff coming here on the channel. More videos coming tomorrow with more thoughts on what's next for Cody, what's next for Roman Reigns, The Rock, and the Bloodline, what's next for everybody else, and maybe even some predictions for next year's WrestleMania. Yes, next year's WrestleMania. We'll have some fun here on Wrestling Reaction. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll talk to you again soon.